It's very easy to rebrand the Link Supercharger software. You can change the text that goes in the footer of every page. You can even change the name of the software itself. And you can change the header and footer images if you like. The file that you've got called install.php is the file that you actually give to your customers, and they run that file to install Link Supercharger. To customize it, you simply load that file install.php into your favorite text editor, as I have done here, and modify a couple of variables. As you can see, I am here at the start of the file, and the first variable is called ftext. This is the text that goes in your footer, so you can change this for anything you like. Simply insert the text you'd like between the quotes. The next one is called PRD name. That stands for product name, and you can call the product anything you like. Enter your product name in between these quotes. Changing the header and footer images is a little bit more complex, but not terribly so. The images are all stored as base64 encoded strings. You'll see the first one here, header.jpg. The images must be JPEGs, incidentally. And here we have a variable called header image, and we assign to it, as you can see as I scroll down, a base64 encoded string, which represents the entire JPEG image. Let me scroll through that, and you can see at the end we close it with a single quote and a semicolon. Underneath that we have footer.jpg, and you can see we've got a variable called footer image, and it's a similar idea. This stores the image that goes in the footer. Please bear in mind when designing a footer that there is a light bit in the middle, which is where your footer text will be overlaid. Now, to take an image and base64 encode it to insert in here is very, very simple. First of all, you need to make sure you've got your image dimensions right. The header is 762 pixels wide by 163 pixels high. The footer is 762 pixels wide by 43 pixels high. So that's 762 by 163 for the header and 762 by 43 for the footer. There are many ways of base64 encoding an image. However, I found one of the easiest is to use a website that allows you to do just that. If you search Google for the term base64 image encode, you'll see lots of sites pop up. However, one of my favourites is this one. It's at www.base64-image.de. It doesn't do a better job than any other, I just like it and it's easy to use. Let me give you an example. Let's change the header image. First of all, we click on Upload Image. It's asking for an image file, so I'll browse, and as it happens, I'll use the original header, header.jpg, but you can use any image that is a JPEG file and fits the size format we discussed earlier. I'm double-clicking that, and then I just click Encode Image. The site then presents a number of boxes and a small version of the image that I uploaded. And you can see it does different things, but the one we want is this first one, the base64 string. We literally click inside that string and the whole thing is highlighted. I'm right-clicking on my browser, I'm using Firefox, and I'm going to left-click on Copy. That string is now in my copy buffer. I now go back to my text editor, and I need to replace all of this information inside the header image variable with the string that's in my copy buffer. So I start from just after the first single quotation mark, and I start to select. I'll scroll down and keep going and keep going and keep going. Please bear in mind you only have to do this the once, of course. I'll keep going and keep scrolling until I get to the end of this string. And there we go, I'm at the end. I go all the way to just before that last single quote, and I'm going to press the delete key. And you can see I've ended up with the cursor flashing in between two quotes. I need to make sure there's no spaces in there, and then I simply paste my string in that I copied from the website. Paste. And there you have it. That's done. And you can do a similar thing for the footer image as well. It's literally that easy to change the header and footer images. So to recap, you take your image, base64 encode it, and then insert it in between the quotes in the install.php file. You can then also change the footer text here and the product name here. Please don't delete the quotes or the semicolons. Once you've done this, save this install.php and you're ready to distribute it. That website for encoding again is www.base64-image.de.